Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we're going to make you a Friday Eve video today. Well, before we get started here, well, these are the mystery logs here. We're thinking they might be mulberry. I'm not positive what they are, but we're going to find out. So I like to solve mystery log once in a while. But before we get going here, we're going to get the generator fired up, get some light in here. And on the last video, if you were paying attention, we blew a hydraulic line, and that's the reason we couldn't make a Friday Eve, or not a Friday Eve, we couldn't make a snack video. So I got to change out 2 hydraulic hoses, and I'd like to thank the folks over at Austin Hose for supplying us them 2 hoses. It's a local company here in the Pittsburgh area, and they do excellent work. But we'll get some light on the subject here, and let's get these 2 hoses swapped out, and then I got to go over to the Setworks and get the board thickness back to 4/4, not 1 inch. So let's get some power. Yeah, we'll get them tightened up, and simple as that. What's nice about this mill is they had made a access panel to get to the hydraulics. And if Jimmy Johnson happens to be watching this video, a little funny story, and we moved this mill when we originally bought it. Jimmy didn't know that this access panel come off, so he was in there pretty much upside down, disconnecting the lines until he come to one that he couldn't get to. And I said, well, why don't you take that panel off? He goes, what? So we'll get this thing buttoned up, and then after that I got some hydraulic oil. We didn't lose very much actually, so I'm going to put a 5-gallon in for now and see where it takes us. So, and then we'll go over to the Setworks, and we'll get things operational again. But I don't keep hoses on hand because there is so many hoses on this mill, and they're all different sizes. There's nothing really common. Dog hoses are common. There's a few that are common, but other than that, some of these lines were original probably to the mill, and until they break, I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars just replacing hoses, because we put this mill in service back in 2018. And that's a lot of years of service I got out of these lines until they finally break. So I feel just run them until they don't run, and then replace them. So, like, again, go to Austin Hose if you need hydraulic equipment as far as hoses. They make stuff for the fracking industry. I'll put a description in the or I'll put a link in the description rather, and you want to go over and check them out. But if you're from the Imperial area, they literally, you could walk to the place from the Sawmill, so that makes it convenient too. So all right, let's get busy. All right, I'm going to show you inside the actual Setworks here, and we got to get Sammy out of the way here. A lot of people ask, what's them little creatures? That's Sammy, the safety gnome, and then his brother Carl. I don't know where he's at now, but anyhow, this is how the board thicknesses are controlled. I just went ahead and moved this because it's hard to hold a camera, a flashlight, and a wrench. So basically, this is our #1 Setwork. So every time I hit the #1 button in the cab, this limit switch here is what makes the board thickness happen. So basically what happens is this little magnet here pulls up, and when it pulls up, that little wheel right there clamps down on that piece of metal there. Behind it is a rubber wheel And you can see that right here, which is on the set shaft. So as soon as the hydraulic motor, which is in here, turns on, starts spinning that chain, moves the set shaft towards the blade. Now this gets pinched between there, and as it does, this little gate here comes rolling up, and then as soon as it touches that switch, it cancels it, it falls back down, and voila, you got a board. And it just repeats itself over and over and over again. So that's how simple the set works. Work on here. I think eventually I'm going to try to improve the adjustment on here. It's kind of a pain in the rear end with this rod, because it's hard to get these things square. And the newer ones they come out with, they use a square rod, and then they ultimately went to a plate, and they have slots cut in, and I think that's the route I might take here. So that is how the set works work. All right, we're going to fire things up here, and we're going to make sure that we get the air out of the system. So in order to have hydraulics, we have to put the PTO on in order to spin the hydraulic pump, because everything works electric over hydraulic. And anything manual, like the foot pedals, they're just a manual valve, but you still have to have the blade spinning. So let's get the PTO running. Okay, we got the blade moving here, so we'll go through the controls here real quick. But right now we just want to check Chewy. When I pull back on the handle, he comes up. I push down, he comes back down. So I'm just getting the air bled out of that line right now. Go. So when you're going to turn the log, you pull back on the stick. Then when you want to make the chain spin, you just go over to the left side there, and you can turn it the other way if you want. But that's how that works. So we'll just go through the controls here real quick. I'll bring the carriage back down. This stick here runs the carriage back and forth. So when I push forward, it goes back. I pull towards me, it goes forward. And if you're running a mill and you're doing that backwards, that's not what they recommend. Talk to a lot of manufacturers, sawyers, and that is really the correct method of what we're doing. So first thing we do, dogs up and down, and you can see in the background. And I like to get the air out of everything, so we'll do that right now. So okay, we did that enough. Now we can go in and out. Then master dog down. All right, now we're going to run the tapers in and out, get the air out of those. And that's these buttons over on my side here. Then we'll do the other one. And when we just got done setting, okay, then this is forward and reverse on the knees. So if we want them to go back and open up, see the dial spinning when I hit that button. Then we just set the number 1. So you hit the number 1 button. You hear that little clacking sound? That's that gate falling back down. And here's another board thickness. Here's another board thickness. Then here's our 2-inch. So that's how that works. That spins the camera outside the cab. So if you're wondering how I follow that, so this is just an extra thing most sawmills don't have. Now we got the foot pedal, so we got more. So this pedal here brings the log up, so when I push down on it, it runs the chains. And then once we get the log where we want it, this pedal here is the stop and loader. And then to get on our pedal right here, brings them arms up and down. And all that's going on while I'm trying to talk to you. So turn the camera and make sure Eddie's out of the way of anything, and make decisions. And there's a lot going on in here, so well, we might as well go ahead and get things ready to go here. So we're going to go ahead and get things rolling here. All right, let's get fired up here, and we're going to call this the mystery log. Everybody got their idea what it could be, and it is just a little bit muggy out. Oh, we're in the mid 60s right now, and alright, you've seen how the controls work. You've seen how everything that I do works. Just wake the doggies up out of their nap. And let's get... I think we're just going to do one log on this video because we don't have enough sticks on hand, and I got them up at my shop. I got 200 more up there. But anyhow, at least it gives you something. A little sawing content. And then tomorrow we're going to be up on Edmonds on a video doing some more firewood. Let me open this up just a little bit more here. That should work. Kind of liking it where it's sitting. Shove it tight. There it goes. Now wet. Them loader arms, they're not too powerful, but they're a big help. Alright, let's see where that's going to be. And leave in the comments what you think it is. I was leaning towards mulberry. It's got a smell to it. It's got that honey look to it. We're just going to put it all in the 4/4. That back didn't sit. When I was pushing it back, I told you motor arms aren't very strong. Well, that's what I meant. That part wasn't sitting back. So I've seen it throw a good set. All right, let's put that down on the head blocks. Give it a good shove back here. There we go. Let's start somewhere around here. got some thick bark to it. That looks better. Eddie's just he's just staring at that. Let's see here. We're down below our magic number. Let's just bring it around. I don't want to be fighting chainsaws and if you had smell-o-vision right now, you would know it. Let's see if we get a face right there. Very pretty wood. Fuzzy. Kind of reminds me of elm, but I don't remember elm smelling this bad. Like a real medicine-y smell. Bring that around one more time. Let's take that top off. See what that does. The saw doesn't seem to mind it. Take one more off. And we'll work that top face. I liked it better. Or the bottom face. We'll see how it looks when we lay it down. Let's work that a little bit. old mulberry tree in my yard before I put my building up. Had to take it down. Looks very similar to it. Alright, let's work that other face on the back side. Pretty. Imagine that would finish up nice. At least it's raining, we can put some water on it. Pull one board out and but you can see the water ringing out of the end of it when I'm sawing it. I like to panel an office with this or make wainscoting. Starting to get into a lot of knots there. Let's see if we have any better options here. It's what they call grade sawing. Boom. Should be somewhere around there-ish. See the flicker? Got a little bit more side alignment to do with that laser, but it's getting close. I don't want to mess up a board here. There we go. Just that little tinging sound's all we want. Got back face. 6-inch stuff off and finish this up. The backside. Seems like the pith is really wide in this. Make a 4x4. Get it to go tight. It don't want to. It's falling off the darn head blocks. Oh well, gonna have to reset them. Don't want to do that, but I was trying to cheat. Now we get another board off. I'll take it down to the final 4. Okay. Well, not sure what it is, but I'm leaning towards mulberry. All right, we'll catch you here at the end. Well, there you have it. And that's my guess, but leave in the comments what you think it is. And as I told you we will do here, if anybody watches Nathan from Out of the Woods, and this wood is so wet the water isn't really, it's not really doing nothing.
It's beautiful,
but it is beautiful.
The weight of it is just incredible.
Yeah, Eddie said that wood there weighs, you said it's heavier than white oak, off bearing it.
Off bearing, it's definitely maybe twice as heavy. If it's what we think it is, though, when they rate that for strength and crush, white oak is 7,000 some odd number, or not 7,000, 5,000, and this is rated up almost over 7,000. So
wow.
They're saying it's stronger.
Yeah, it's actually beautiful. It will be for sale. If you want,
for sale.
you want to buy some mulberry, there's your chance. There's that other short log, which will become a snack video coming up. Probably I'll put that on Saturday coming up.
It might be a stop sign.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a bit of a stop sign. But that stuff was so wet coming off the saw and so heavy. We talked about the sawdust blower, that it's harder to pull sawdust than it is to push it. It almost plugged that sawdust pipe up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to probably take that apart now and fire that system back up and get that cleaned out. But that mulberry was that heavy, or whatever this mystery wood was that heavy that it didn't want to pull it.
Yeah.
So that don't happen too often, but
It's always, always nice sawing something different.
yeah, something different. First time ever.
Yeah,
that we
never
know we
sawed
sawed this wood. So if you like the video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. Go over to Eddie's channel and you'll get to see it on the back side of the mill.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got the hydraulic problem fixed, and
It's been a good day.
been a good day. So we're getting back into things. But yeah, one hose could shut you down, and it did. But hey, thanks to Austin Hose. And if you look in the description, I will have a link to their company. And like again,
Top notch.
yeah, if you need anything hydraulic for his hoses, go check these people out. They're good to deal with. They'll make a hose while you wait.
And they make hoses.
They make some big stuff for the
Yeah.
fracking industry. So hey, thanks again. We'll catch you on next one.
All right.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.